Okay. If you're seeing this, it's because you're kind of elite, and you're becoming so elite and so powerful individually that now all the superpowers around you have to recognize you, and they're in this stage right now where they're like, okay, we need to decide how we feel about this guy. This guy is undeniably a force to be reckoned with in the world. Now, what do we do knowing that this guy is powerful? Because it makes sense for like, and I was just like watching a video. It was a lecture by Robert Greene, who wrote the 48 Laws of Power, and he was discussing a new book where he talks about how to apply military strategy in everyday like real life. So yeah, I feel like, fuck, completely lost my train of thought. This video may actually require editing, and that's something I didn't want to do, but it may actually require editing. Oh fuck, that's exactly the energy. Because I remember now what I was gonna say. I was talking about how people are having to decide how they feel about you. So in that video, one of the first things that Robert Greene talks about is the fact that military knowledge is held for the elites. Like in a society, like that knowledge is not as common as it might be thought to have been. Like, I don't know, like it's not as accessible for most people. Most people aren't going out of their way to like study war because there's like this common conception that war is no longer relevant. But it's because in the modern day like society and culture, outward aggression is like frowned upon. And so you have to behave like discreetly, like that's shadow, like sly, like snakier energy. So some of you guys have like darkness, and soldier is like my, if you see like this poster behind me, it's like this representation of like my shadow, because I'm a Hyde. Like my last name is literally Hyde, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but Mr. Hyde is literally my father. So that makes me like kind of at least metaphorically like capable of handling a lot of personal darkness. And I do feel like my soul is responsible for being a certain kind of destructive force. Like even my own dad gave me, like he nicknamed me after the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes. So I've always kind of been like chaotic, and I used to be my first ever Instagram name was Cyclone HYDE. So like I have a lot of chaotic energy, and that's something that I'm kind of like proud of about myself. Like I used to be a lot more reserved about the fact that I had a crazy wild internal world, but I've just decided that I'm okay with the fact that not everybody can accept me how I am, because I find that there's a lot of like good stuff for me in being different and like chaotic. Even when it is hard, like there's certain pathways that I uniquely can walk down just because of how different and chaotic I am. And there's a place for people like me in the world. Like even if you're like weird in some way and you don't look weird like me, like there is like a place for you. Like seriously. But whatever. I think you're someone who already knows that. That's part of the reason why you're elite, because you're walking with the confidence of like, hey, like I'm gonna go. Like I know that I am. I know what my skill set is. I'm comfortable with it. It comes probably naturally to me. I may have been doing it for like a long time, since I was maybe like really young. I have like some kind of marker or certificate of my excellence or like accomplishment in some kind of way. So you already are moving in the world kind of like a shark, and that is what I'm kind of getting with like Shark Tank, big boys kind of thing. So what's that song, Money Machine by 100 Gex? I'm tempted to play it. I'm not gonna play it, but it's playing in my head, so that's part of the reason. Like when I like hear songs in my head, it's like you may as well just play it out loud, because if not, like it's still playing like right now. Like right now I'm talking to you, but I'm still hearing that song, and it's gonna go until it stops. Especially like songs that I've listened to like a lot of times that I really know, like those songs can play idly in my head very comfortably. I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me. I did shower this morning, and I did the whole hair thing, but I didn't put any products in it, and so it's just like doing its crazy thing. And I don't know, I've been told I resemble a young Einstein, and that feels very flattering to me, because I feel like I'm on some like X Games mode, like life purpose, like I don't know, like put me in a situation. I want to be put in a situation, you know? I think you could be that kind of person where like you're looking for situations to be put in so you can like test your own reactions. Like not that you necessarily have a plan for how you're gonna react, but you just want to like know like I don't know, like some of you guys could be like adrenaline junkies. Known for being mischievous in some kind of way, even like within your community. Because I'm kind of like known for things, you know, but they're not necessarily like the best things. Like people who know things about me and know like some of the worst things about me, and that seems to be somehow endearing. Like I don't know, that's the thing about people, is that you think you can like only get respect one way, and then you find out people actually respect bad just as much as they respect good. And then it's like, oh shit, I can actually be rewarded for being in my shadow. Like, and then that's tempting, but you have to be careful. Like it's a slippery slope if you don't control yourself, because you could end up being somebody that you don't like, and then you could be so committed to being that person, like so far along that pathway of being that person, that it's hard to stop being that person. So you have to keep being that person just to live, and then you hate yourself for being that person. So really, like, gotta watch yourself. It's part of the way. You gotta maintain your balance. You gotta know what you're doing and make sure that you're having the impact that you want to have. And then if you're not, like, find ways to resolve that, you know? Because I wish I could give back to the homeless more. You know, I'm barely not homeless myself, but like sometimes I wish I could give back to the homeless more. And so sometimes I do. You know, when I can. And then I do. And that makes me feel really good, but then I feel kind of bad for feeling so good about it. But then I'm like, dude, I should be doing this. Like, they feel good, I'm feeling good because I'm empathetic, and that's how that works. I would hate to feel like I was doing it for me, but even if I was selfishly giving to the homeless, I still feel like that's like it's still a good deed, you know. And that's shadow energy once again, because like I like to feel like, one of my things, I'm a type 5 personality, so I really like to feel needed. I like to feel needed. Like I want to know that like what I'm doing matters, like, you know, and that also that it's not being taken for granted. That makes me feel, you know, like I should keep doing it. Like I followed this, like I was on live earlier and I was the #1 gifter. I was so proud of that, and I'm here to brag about it because that's the type of shit that makes me feel proud. I think you guys should feel proud about being the #1 gifter in people's lives too. And I never understood that before, because like I never really go in lives and give away my money. You know, I'm not like loose with my money like that. Like I said, I'm barely homeless myself. Like I'm barely not homeless. See, the fact that I said barely homeless should let you know how close to homelessness I actually am. But I'm not on the streets currently, obviously. But that's part of life though. Like I have to sacrifice things to maintain my neutrality. Like if I were to take shortcuts to like having more money, then I have to deal with the fact that I'm sitting in like a deeper level of evil that I'm necessarily comfortable with. I could easily be prostituting right now successfully. I guarantee it. I guarantee I could. But I'm not, because I have certain morals and like the ways that I like to live my life means that I'm not doing that. But I could. You know, like easily. I could be on OnlyFans right now. I could be doing a lot of different things. I could be I used to distribute valuable resources. I could be doing that now. But I'm not, you know? That's what I'm saying. So like I'm choosing to take the route that makes the most sense, considering the fact that I know that I'm a snake and I'm slithering anyway. So it's like people are already looking at me like, hey, what do you think you're doing? So I gotta make sure I'm standing up straight most of the time. And that's what I'm saying about, like, you know, you kind of becoming somebody now. Like, you're somebody people pay attention to. And you gotta just know that. Which means if you gotta step into your ninja bag, then step into your ninja bag. Like, sometimes you gotta, like, really go out of your way to become more anonymous. Like, I have a VPN. Just because, like, I can sometimes feel the pressure of being observed, and it bothers me. And it just gives me peace of mind. Like, it's money that I don't even mind spending, because it just makes me feel, like, slightly better about the fact that anybody could just, like, hack my shit. And just know what I'm doing all the time. Even though people probably are hacking my shit and knowing what I'm doing all the time. You're so fucking cute. I love my fucking dog, man. He has the biggest eyes. And they're so happy and full of joy, even though they're very dark. Yes, you. The one that I love. The big baby himself. That's what he is. He's a big baby. He loves his mommy. And I love him. My thing is he really likes to lick me and I don't really like to be licked. So we have issues with that. Because that's like his main way of showing affection apparently. And I'm just like, dude, like, you have no idea how uncomfortable that is. For me personally. I think you're being a little inconsiderate. But, you know, he's still a decent dude, I guess. I don't really know what to do about that. It's like, I don't want you to, like, feel like you can't show love in the way that... Because all he has is a mouth. He doesn't really have anything else. So, I mean, I guess if I was him, maybe I'd lick too. I was thinking about that, right? Because, like, and this is... I don't even know why I should say this. I don't even know why I should say this. And there are repercussions for saying things, and that's the thing I always forget. He said, we're not just right now. We're also 20 years from now. He's bringing me the raccoon toy. What does this mean? Are you feeling mischievous, son? Yeah, he just winked. He's feeling mischievous. He's feeling a little mischievous. He wants to be bad. He wants to be bad. He wants to show off his destructive qualities. He loves to do that. Like, he likes to, like, destroy trees and, like, the branches in the middle of, like, the town in front of everybody. And he feels so proud. Like, his tail is, like, all the way up and his ears are all up and he's so proud of himself. And I can't, like, tell him to stop because how could I? Even though, like, it brings a lot of attention to us. But that's not, like, it's not really new. We get a lot of attention because we're sexy. And that's just what comes with it. You gotta just know that. And after my life and what I've been through in the past, like, couple of years, at this point, I don't even really care. Like, I can't even really get into the depths of which I feel that I've been observed. And so at this point, like, it just aids in my detachment from my, like, physical body. Like, you know, whatever. I'm just a consciousness anyways. You can, like, observe my body, but I know that's, like, nothing compared to what's actually going on inside me. So, like, it's not even the half of it. Like, you can try to intrude upon me if you want. But I guarantee you, you don't know what's going on up here. You don't know. So, and I like it like that. I only really, like, let it be known what I strategically have planted out in the world that I want to be doing. Conscious of the fact that I'm being observed. And that allows me to maneuver how I must. Because I feel like, you know, with so much of this energy of, like, feeling like people are, like, observing me, right? Because, like, ever since that dogfight, like, they didn't release the recording of my abandoned phone call, the police, when I called. Because they said I was under investigation. So it's like, for how long has that been going on, man? Like, you have not given me any details other than the fact that I'm under investigation. So, like, you know what? Because even if I didn't already feel that, like, intuitively, because I did, you know, obviously, like, stuff was going missing around my crib and everything. Like, I knew that there was action outside. I just didn't really know what direction, per se, it was coming from at all the time, like, at first. Like, you know, like, it's just like that, bro. It's just fucked up. But also, it's kind of cool that that's happened because now I'm like, okay, Well, now that you guys know I'm cool, because, like, obviously now you know I'm cool. You looked into me, so there's no way you're, like, not finding out I'm cool, because obviously I'm cool. So now that you know, like, what are we doing now? Like, do we work together, or, like, are we enemies? Like, because, like, I never did anything other than, like, exist in an area where people didn't know what the fuck I was, and just felt like they needed to, like, pry. Because they were just like, whoa, what the hell is this starfish dude doing here in the middle of the desert? And, I mean, okay, I understand. I get it. But to go to the extent that they went to find out is kind of unconstitutional, like I said before, which is the reason why I'm filing a claim. But, you know, like, now that we're here, what are we doing? Because, like, I feel like I don't even know if they have stopped. I don't feel like I'm, you know, in as much jeopardy anymore. Like, I'm allowed to relax in my skin. I feel like I'm relaxing on my skin. Obviously, I'm relaxing on my skin. But, like, you know, I don't know if they're still around or what. Like, like, I don't know. And, you know, because, like, before the dog fight, I used to see cop cars, like, the sheriff cars, like, every single time I stepped out to walk my dog. Like, I would have thought that, like, that was like a regular routine. Like, they went around the block like every 30 minutes the way that I was seeing them when I walk my dog. But, like, after the phone call, like, after the neglect, and then me actually, like, not dying or being handicapped by this rampaging animal, like, nothing. They disappeared. They were like, fuck. She got us. And I was like, so all of a sudden, there are no police in the area. Like, all of a sudden, you guys are just pretending that, like, you were never here. They just cleared the area. It was as if somebody in the office was like, okay, cease and desist. We can't continue to do this anymore. We can't keep harassing her. She's got too much evidence. It's looking bad for us. And, like, that's just, like, but once again, like, I'm choosing not to hold grudges about these things, because what would be the point, right? I figure utility over, like, emotional, right? Because Alexander the Great, in the video I literally just watched, the dude was talking about Robert Greene. He was shout out Robert Greene, by the way. That guy has a lot of knowledge. But yeah, like, he was talking about how Alexander the Great prayed to Athena before going to battle, and it wasn't like maybe what you think as being like all metaphysical. It was really just him asking the energy of Athena, which just represents like rational consciousness, like strategy, to balance out the Aries, which is the aggression and like actual violence. So to not be overly consumed by arrogance or greed in the pursuit of your power or domination, which ultimately makes you more neutral once again, and more balanced, more viable as a leader. And it also benefits your ability to create strategy that's actually based in reality and not emotional perception. You guys, take notes on videos, especially if you're a Virgo like me, because I feel like as soon as I write anything down, that shit's in my brain forever. I'm never losing it. That's part of the reason why, like, I was good at school. I never had to study, because if I just listened and took notes, because I can even see my own notes in my head, especially if I drew pictures to help me understand. People used to, like, ask me for my notes. I used to be that guy who, like, gave out the notes. I also, sometimes I want to just, like, tell everybody everything I know how to do, but then I'm like, dude, Valerie, you shouldn't do that. But I just want people to know how cool I am. But then it's like, there's a disadvantage to that. I learned that, Masamushi, the greatest samurai warrior, he that was one of the reasons why he was able to defeat his opponents, because they were like one size fits all on their approach into battle, and they were like overconfident in the use of their weaponry. So the world's gonna end. You guys get that feeling ever? Let me know in the comments if I'm like paranoid, or like, you know, if I'm just like, what? Because I've been feeling a certain type of way. But I feel like I'm the kind of person that, like, if something happened, I literally would probably survive that shit. Like, I don't know, like, the way I've been moving recently in life, like, I feel like it's, you know, I could take care of myself. But then I think, like, you know, if the world were to descend into madness, you know, what would be my next move? I would be scared of shit, dude. I really would be scared of shit. But that wouldn't stop me from, like, getting it together. I think I'd probably, like, just, like, if the world, like, if I started to get, like, a radio, like, alert, and they were like, yo, zombie outbreak, I'd be like, oh, fuck. And then I would just lock in. Like, seriously, I would. Because what can you do other than move? Like, what can you do other than move? And I'm not saying, like, you should always just attack everything all the time. But in times of crisis, I've learned from my own personal life experience, I can't allow myself to be paralyzed. Like, I have to force myself into movement. Because if I get stuck in thinking about every single thing that could happen or what I could do, then I won't get anything done because I'll be too focused on, like, which thing should come first. And it really is just better to move in any direction, at least to get moving. Like, you can always change direction. But for me, if I don't start, then, like, it will never start. Once I keep going, though, like, my momentum is solid. I can, like, follow through. I just have to be, like, sparked. And I think it would be easier to prepare for it is easier to prepare for the end of the world just because, like, I am the only person I am responsible for. Like, if I was a parent, I'd have been through my dogs and dogs. See, because my cat is basically a dog. But, like, she grew up with dogs. So, like, she had, like, 5